Back in the summer of 1984, a group from Ontario, Canada got a big break opening for Boy George and the Culture Club. It was at the Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto, Canada, and they were known as Tokyo. This band who opened for Boy George was Tokyo. They played the club circuit in Ontario. They played the high school circuit, playing high school parties, and this was a big break. Big break for Tokyo. Had a dynamic rock and roll sound. Sort of like Duran Duran. They signed a deal with Capitol Records in 1985 and they changed their name to Glass Tiger. And they are at number 2. Don't Forget Me When I'm Gone. On my fancy playlist September 6, 1986, the album Thin Red Line, it went platinum 4 times over in Canada. They swept, Glass Tiger, they swept the Juno Awards in Canada in 1986. They got Song of the Year, well, Single of the Year, Album of the Year, and Most Promising Group. Glass Tiger. They worked with a big songwriter on this album, Jim Vallance. I'm going to pronounce it as Vallance. Vallance or Vallance, Vallance. Jim Vallance. Jim Vallance, he produced this album. He was Bryan Adams' songwriting partner. He co-wrote some of the huge hits by Bryan Adams, Heaven, and there was Heaven, Cuts Like a Knife in 1983, and Jim Vallance, he was in prison. If you're watching this video in Canada, you might remember Prism from back in the 70s. He wrote Spaceship Superstar. One of the scintillating hard rock, heavy metal, just classic rock and roll pieces. That was not a huge hit here in the States. That was in 1977. But Jim Vallance, by the mid-80s, he was known as a songwriter. He was just earning his production chops at the time, but Glass Tiger wanted to work with this guy. Bryan Adams sings backup on this record. Now here's what happened. I'll set the stage for you. Glass Tiger, first day they met Jim Vallance. Glass Tiger, they go to the airport, and they're picked up at the airport by Jim Vallance. This is their first meeting. And Jim Vallance, they're driving to his apartment or to his house. Jim Vallance breaks the ice. He asks the group, well, what songs are you listening to? What groups are you into? So they throw out songs. Glass Tiger throws out songs. One of the songs that they mentioned, Everybody Wants to Rule the World by Tears for Fears, which went to number 1 here in the States in 1985. They go to Jim Vallance's apartment or his house. They chill. Glass Tiger, Jim Vallance. They chill, they drink some tea, listen to some music, and Everybody Wants to Rule the World plays. Song plays. The group, Glass Tiger and Jim Vallance, they love the shuffle beat of this song. And they're like, let's use this beat. They go to the recording studio and they infuse this shuffle beat into Don't Forget Me When I'm Gone. Jim Vallance sat down and helped them write the song. Glass Tiger, Don't Forget Me When I'm Gone. I love to tell the story of Jim Vallance because I sure love the songs that he wrote with Prism, Spaceship Superstar, and Take Me to Your Captain back in the day. Glass Tiger at number 2 on my fancy playlist of September 6, 1986.